Back to you in the studios.
The resilience that Ghanshyam has shown is for everyone to see, and that is the resilience that no atrocity or vendetta can break. That's the message that has come out from that conversation as well. I'm joined by noted senior lawyer Swapnil Kothari, Rajalakshmi Joshi and Colonel Rohit Dev joining us on the show. Swapnil, I want to come to you first. Very interestingly, what Ghanshyam has revealed after coming out of custody for 26 days, that he was beaten. Now, we expect procedures and norms to be respected when somebody is in custody.
Yes, Shivani, that's absolute textbook, but the reality is extremely difficult and different and gruesomely different. And the only resource, or rather the only resource that people have is their own resilience, and the only recourse that people can have is the courts. So as and when the matter of Ghanshyam Singh is argued before the court, tomorrow if it goes on trial, because right now he's only out on bail, at that point in time, you have to suggest that this case needs to be quashed against him, because the way Ghanshyam was saying, from that I could make out that there is no case, there is no sanctity in the case itself. The TRP case itself seems to have fallen apart, in my opinion, because there doesn't seem to be any substantiation of that case from what I'm seeing and from what I'm hearing and from what I am reading. There is a 1400-page charge sheet. I haven't read the charge sheet. I need to take a look at it. But the thing is that the way the things have gone across, you ask some sort of questions as to what is the cost of the toilet paper, what is the cost of a vending machine, some washing, wash basin, this, that, and the other. These are all very stray questions which have got no relevance on the TRP scam, because Hawala takes in, 6 to 7 figures, 8 figures. It doesn't take place in hundreds and to 1,000 rupees. So there cannot be any basis for that. There is no substantial basis. That is point number one. Point number two is that when an individual is put in 25 days in custody without any legal basis, obviously his rights under 21 and 22 articles have been violated. More so 21, not 22, because I don't think he's been denied legal recourse. He was allowed legal recourse from what I understand. So I would say only Article 21 for that matter, and of course 19, because he's been stopped from pursuing his vocation or business, 19(1)(g). So at that point, you have to tell the courts that this is what I was beaten up, and that too even being beaten up once itself is a violation. And for that matter, the API or whoever did that, if he knows that person could be called by the courts if the court feels that there is merit in what Ghanshyam is saying. So it all depends, all these things, Shivani, depend a lot on the courts, on how the courts view the case, whether the court wish to pass strictures or not. And for that, your counsel needs to harp a lot on that aspect, that somewhere the strictures need to be passed, because if this is seen to be getting...
I want to go across to Colonel Rohit Dev also, because at the end of the day, what Swapnil, you have also mentioned or outlined is rather a fishing and roving inquiry that went on. The cart was put before the horse, and then it seemed to be moving backwards to prove whether there was something in the first place, after having named an accused out of thin air, as far as this so-called TRP case is concerned. So the way it has panned out raises several questions. Then on top of that, what Ghanshyam has said after coming out of custody, there is nothing substantial that has been presented till today. What is the government or the police or the crime branch trying to achieve?
Shivani, firstly, kudos to your team and Ghanshyam to stand out for those 27 days, and you stand tall. So kudos for that and a victory sign for that. Having said that, there's a perception which is building up in the nation, and which is very important, because right from the bail when Arnab got into the Supreme Court, when there was no case to start with on the night when the magistrate was trying to give a decision that night, the first night he was picked up in the morning, you find there is an evil outreach which is now taking place against your channel. And whatever may be said and done legally or technically, I do not think it is finding the right kind of connect with the people of this country. And people are actually up in arms on social media and otherwise to call out this kind of a high-handed approach in justice. If you can't find something, prima facie, there was no case against Arnab, so you go and file within 12 hours one more case. You pick up one Ghanshyam after declaring on national media, various of them not calling Republic there, and trying to say Republic is the culprit for a TRP scam, whereas it was not mentioned. The third party, Hansa, on behalf of Bar, has gone on record and lodged a separate petition for being coerced to name Republic. And then you go to those people in households and threaten them and tell them to take name. It is also very easy technically. But where is the law? Where is the mandate given to a government machinery to pursue cases which are ethically not correct or legally not correct? You can't catch people on technicalities. If you found one Arnab coming on television, after 2 days you took him to court or to a police station again to tell him to sign a good order kind of a certificate for not speaking out on this case. So what are you doing in this country? What you're doing is you're using the draconian laws of the yore and trying to put it on a 21st century country. The country will not take it. And it is my firm belief, enough water has flown right from the Palghar till now, and your channel has stood to the forefront to bring up the truth. And fighting for truth and justice cannot be shunned through high-handedness. It is high time, I would appeal to the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, the government law machinery, the PMO, to now strike down, because in this entire saga for the last 6 months, you have picked up the exact draconian nature of laws which need to be squashed. So while the government said 6 years back that need to kill these orders, start now, because freedom of speech and expression is supreme. You cannot do that. And what are they talking about? Parading people for identification. I mean, if you pick up 10 people tomorrow, I can do it for anybody, any agency. I can pick up 10 people and say, okay, this chap Ghanshyam was there. It's so easy technically. But where is the evidence? And finally, the larger point is I tried to ask in the social media today,
also,
what is the BARC TRP got to do with anybody? Is it helping you financially? No. It is something like promoting a shoe, a Nike shoe. You say buy one shoe, get one free. So somebody has to put his head together and see that there is nothing unethical in trying to get people to your channel. That is my personal opinion. I don't know how BARC works otherwise. But a third-party rating cannot impinge on a Ghanshyam to be caught one day and try to be forced to fight superstitious, fictitious witnesses, coerced into action, and then you say we got law on their side. No, you don't have law on your side. You have
Colonel Rohitdev, it's important to understand the enormity of the charges that have been leveled without any basis on Republic TV, and people cannot be allowed to do that and get away with. And as you mentioned, in this case, the witnesses themselves are tainted with the suspicion of coercion. There is not one, but a couple of instances that show that witnesses are being coerced. Now, if one so-called witness/approver is saying something, that alone cannot be the basis of the entire investigation. There has to be something more. And as far as concrete evidence is concerned, if the charge is of rigging of TRP, concrete evidence is concerned, any financial transaction, none of that has happened. We'll wait and see, of course, how the charge sheet is viewed. But I just want to quickly go across to Rajalakshmi also. Any time tyranny takes shape in the manner that it is in Maharashtra, it is only people's personal resilience really that can fight it. Because the aim of tyranny is to break people, to break their resolve, to break their back in fighting against tyranny and speaking for the truth. And I think people like Ghanshyam Singh are displaying that is not going to be possible.
Yes, Shivani. Very firstly, congratulations to Ghanshyam Singh and to the entire team of Republic for standing so strong against, this entire attempt by the Mumbai police and by the Maharashtra Sarkar, this MBA Sarkar. Okay, now this actually, all of this has brought out a few points which I wish to bring across. It has brought out the extreme malice that the Mumbai police has shown, the Mumbai police and the government has shown, the Maharashtra government has shown. It has shown the extreme levels to which the Mumbai police can go and the Maharashtra government can go to intimidate and put pressure on somebody who is trying to bring out the truth. It shows the extreme levels to which they can go to suppress the truth in all the cases that you have been fighting for. And, it also shows the extreme shoddy level of investigation that they went in this case, in this fake TRP case, where they didn't even look for the basic information. Even the basic data was not asked for from BARC. And on what basis have they put up on this case? And on what basis have they arrested him? On what basis was he paraded like a terrorist, like a criminal? And he had to languish in that jail with hardened criminals for 27 days. I mean, it's really appalling to what levels they can go to intimidate and to put pressure. this shows that how much scared they are of all the points that you are trying to bring across, whether it may be in Sushant Singh Rajput case, whether it may be about the Bandra migrants case, or about the Palgar lynching, and even about some other cases like the Hathras case, and a lot of cases that like the India Bulls and all. There are a lot of cases where you are following it up meticulously and with great determination to seek to the bottom of the truth, and that is what is hurting them and pinching them, and that is why they want to suppress your voice, and that is they're trying every trick in the book, whether it may be the case against Arnab, and whether it may be about Ghanshyam Singh. The way that this it is not going unnoticed. This is a case of Vinash Kale Viparit Buddhi. It looks like they are on this road to self-destruction. This is the entire country standing by you, even people outside also. So this is not going unnoticed. And obviously, even this highest court in the land.
No, certainly we are aware of that. And the kind of support that Republic TV has received throughout this episode is obviously testimony to the fact that people are not blind to what is happening. The government may think that they can just go on the way that they're doing, and people will either forget or not notice. That doesn't happen in today's world, at least.
Shivani,
I do thank all of you for joining us.
Even the Supreme Court has said that this should not be used as a tool for for harassing the public.
Yes.
Yeah. Shivani,
yes,
just a very
I do appreciate that, but I am out of time. I do thank all of you for joining us. We'll, of course, hope to talk to you again in some bit.